Oh, cool. All right. I think we're going now. Right on.
Yeah.
Josie Wales. Right on. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Good to see you. Let's make
Good
this
to
as
see
awkward
you.
as possible, shall we?
Cool. I think we can do that. Hmm. Hmm. Very
Right
nice.
on.
Yeah.
So, how you been?
I'm good. Yeah. Yeah. Up
Yeah,
here in Bellingham in my little ship shop.
that's right. So you live up in Bellingham, Washington, yeah?
It is true.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
I lived there for many years. It's a nice town.
True.
I'm sure it's exactly the same
Hmm. I don't know.
or awfully
I've
close.
only been here for almost two, so
2 years?
mhm. Almost
Cool.
in September.
Yeah, that's a
Very
nice
cool.
town with like Larrabee State Park nearby,
Hmm.
and
Beaches and lakes and mountains and yeah.
are you kind of near the Fairhaven district?
I am about 2 miles downwind there, whatever, uh, behind the Gross Out in the York neighborhood. Hmm.
Is Georgia Pacific still a big still there or not?
I don't know. I
Huh.
think I might have seen a sign for that.
What's up? Oh yeah, you have.
Maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know.
When I was in
Hmm.
town, it was like a big. It was a big thing. There's like there's probably there were like studies showing that where their smoke went, like
Hmm.
cancer, like
Oh,
got worse wherever like where
oh,
their smokestacks were blowing.
yeah,
So yeah, I knew a few people who got cancer who were not like who it was pretty mysterious and pretty
yeah,
uh like
yeah. I
really
mean, I
healthy
grew up
people.
in
Like one guy I
Hanford,
knew
grew
who
up
was
in Richland. Yeah.
what's up?
Oh, I said I grew up in Richland, which is very close to Hanford.
Uh huh.
So, yep. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, I knew one guy that got like a big old um, brain tumor, like the size
Oh, shit.
of a softball in his head, who was like a complete, total vegan, totally in shape, uh,
Yeah.
like ran an organic farm out of the school, just very weird. But
Yeah.
yeah, if they're gone, I'm glad they're gone.
I haven't heard of
Yeah.
them.
Well, right on. Yeah, I love that
Wow,
little
real bad.
town. So what kind of a banshee do you have there? Or I guess that's a ukulele. Can I see it?
The baritone ukulele with two-thirds
Nice,
of a guitar option.
cool.
Hmm.
I took
Nothing
my
like it.
my 100-year-old banjo and
Yeah.
strung it up with ukulele strings.
Oh, fuck yeah!
So it's got like a
You told
low.
me about that. I haven't seen it yet. There we
So
go.
it's a soprano ukulele with a
Oh,
low G.
that's the
So,
cutest little thing I've seen.
but we both been kind of obsessed with Louisiana fairy tale lately, right?
It's true. I still haven't learned it yet. Oh, I could look up the words real quick.
The
Probably pull it
dew
up.
is hanging diamonds on the clover. The moon is listening to the nightingale. And while we're lost in dreams, the world around us seems like a Louisiana fairy tale. Do you play that one?
I haven't learned that one yet, unfortunately. I'll do it
Ah,
tonight.
cool. That's a nice one.
Hmm. I've been
I
meaning to.
like to
It's
see
been
what
stuck in my head.
kind of crazy chord changes you end up for that one.
We'll see.
You
Maybe I
you
should
always
ask some
make the
friends.
you always have more complicated versions of your songs than I do.
Well, you play more complicated than I do.
Oh well, thanks.
I've been mashing that up with Hang On Little Tomato, going from Louisiana Fairy Tale into Hang On Little Tomato into Brazil. Hmm. In
Really?
my brain drain. It's a good one.
Like just like in your head or in
Yeah, I
my
don't
head.
mean to. I'll just be humming Louisiana fairy tale like a Louisiana fairy tale, and I'll hang on to the night,
Cool.
stay on, and then somewhere it goes into da, 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 yeah, da, 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 da. Yeah, like that all the
Cool.
time. Da, 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 da.
I want to
Yep.
hear that where that ends up.
I don't know if those are any of those are mashup songs, but we can work on it. I just learned the three of them, but not
So
Brazil. I can't do that.
have you been
Just listen to it.
you've been staying busy during this these crazy times?
Busy enough. Could be busier. But yeah, doing things,
Yeah, right. Yeah, I
housework.
think
So,
everybody did that. They had like everybody. It kind of felt like you're like it's like I'm back at my parents' place. I can like do whatever I want. Like it was kind of 2 weeks
there's
where you're
a-
just like I can't believe this is like moving back in with mom or something. It's like I can what I mean? Like I can just eat all day and drink all day and
I'm gonna learn how to play the trombone. I'm gonna work out, and I'm gonna, yeah, hmm take YouTube swing dance lessons. Yeah.
hmm and then you're kind of like, when's this gonna end?
Yeah, like that. It's hard to feel creative in some of this. Or yeah. hmm
Yeah,
Yeah. Mm, yeah.
you've had a tough time feeling creative.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been, had to force myself to play music again. And then once I do, that's fun. So now I'm getting back into it and it's a good thing. But
Well, yeah. I
the
mean, you're a performer. You're like you. I feel like it's a real social thing for you and for a lot of
yeah.
people. And it's funny because you have all the time in the world to play and write songs, but it's when you start, when it goes on for this long, you
Yeah.
start kind of like losing track of like what we're why we do this.
I do it for people. And
You
it's
do
hard to
you
do it
to
to
support people.
for people. Yeah. And are just so it's music is for people to hear and hopefully have an experience with. And so it's kind of hard to, I mean, I can be one of those people, but it's not the same to sit by myself in my room and play a song than it is to share one with a friend. For sure.
Yeah, and some people that's like that's all they do. Like some of the
Yeah.
best musicians I've known have been like just
The closet musicians are,
yeah, total closet in the
they're
closet
really
musicians.
good. There's that.
I know.
Got my coffee from this morning. Got it on my way to work.
Yeah, so much of it is you know like consistency. People just who get out there and play and play and play,
Mhm.
and it isn't necessarily always about being like the most talented or like the most the best show in the world. Sometimes it's just about like doing it.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that like play music on the side who are just awesome, but it's not like their thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. I guess it's an intense hobby for me, I suppose.
Hmm.
I don't know. But
I've had a tough time with like yeah I like let my old band go, like let all kind of just like put it all on the shelf for a while, kind of use it as a chance to sort of start over because it's
yeah.
weird,
Yeah.
the scene being the way that it is here in Portland. There's a lot of venues closing, and it's kind of a marginal thing that we do,
A lot of that.
and getting out to um, like a lot like the Secret Society ballroom closed, the O'Neill closed, uh,
Yeah. So at least before that.
and
Then, yeah.
so for a while now, people have been kind of trying to find a decent venue in town to, to really like do the swing scene at.
Which is crazy because it's Portland and it's huge. Well,
Right? I know. Yeah,
huge.
it's huger. It's huger. Bellingham has a huge pool of talent, though. I mean, there's some.
There's that.
Yeah.
It's a funny
Who are
little
some of your
habit.
favorite people that are playing music in Bellingham right now?
Well, there's, little Peter the Hot Damn Scandal.
Mm-hmm.
And because as far as local bands, the Hot House Honeys that Pace put together was the Hot House Jazz Band was amazing.
Oh yeah.
Devin Champlin, the
Talking
Sons
about
of
Pace Rubidoux.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pace Rubidoux
Yeah.
had a cool band. Oh yeah, he's great. He had the
Mhm.
what was it, the Beats, the Invincible Beats. I can never remember their
Oh, I
name.
don't know.
The Impenetrable Beats. I can never
Oh,
remember.
that's awesome. That's a good name.
But what's the band called? His band up in Bellingham.
They actually had to break up. It was too overloaded with stuff, but there's always good old Devin Champlin, and he still plays with Dean with the Sons are in Your Head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
And
good.
he's got a shop up there where he works on
Mhm.
instruments as well, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. And I always liked what was it, Jordan Rain, uh, that reggae band.
I
What
don't
are
know.
they called? Oh, the Rumpus. No, shoot, what's his band? His band called? Great, like great reggae band, like original music, and he plays drums and sings at the same time.
I don't know.
Shoot,
I haven't seen that.
yeah. You haven't seen them?
Mm-mm.
Huh? Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, Yoga Man.
Oh yeah, you told me about him. I did meet him,
Yeah.
but I still don't think I've heard him play. Maybe.
Oh really?
Maybe I
Cool.
did. Maybe
Really
at
sweet person.
string band. Yeah, I think at string band last year.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really cool. He went from playing like some of the most hellacious like metal I'd ever heard with a band Be It the Prophet, No Lord Shall Live
Mm-hmm.
back in the day. That was like really inspiring uh like noise music.
Mm-hmm.
And um he he had a kid and started collecting like reggae 78s and stuff, like old 78s I think, and just really fell in love with it, and then just went
Yeah.
in this total other direction. And I love what he does with that too. Just some people like you know turn stuff to gold
It's,
wherever they go.
it's true. You
Hmm.
can like a lot of different types of music.
Yeah, right
Yeah,
on.
Shams did I mean, he was always into metal, but he went from the old jazz stuff into having a metal band called Human Terror. Mhm. It's good.
Who's that?
Old Shamsy.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Cool.
Dumpster Joe.
Dumpster Joe.
Yeah. Hmm. I like it. Uh, yeah. Like, just a second.
What?
Get that back. You want to play a song?
You talking to me?
Yeah. Can we do it together?
I
Can we
don't
try?
know. I don't think there's probably too much of a delay to do that.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Have you
Yeah.
written anything, any new stuff?
Just that obscure coyote song that I played for you the
Yeah,
other day.
cool. Do you think it's ready to pull it out of the oven and
I can
take a
try
bite?
it. It's got a, there's got quite a range in it, but mhm. We'll see. Uh,
So this
D
one's
minor, F, G minor, D minor.
okay. What's this one called?
The Jackal
Mm-hmm.
or Obscure Coyote. We'll see. I
Obscure
don't know.
Coyote. All right, let's hear it.
Flash proceeds. Yeah. Oh yeah, wait. Oh, the jackal raised the hackles and cried to the night. Oh, the heckler is a stickler, begging for a fight. After the coyote tells no joke, just trying to get by. You're feeling scrappy and you might hesitate, but it's worth the wait. And you can climb upon that mountainside, but you won't find what's hiding behind your eyes. The truth and the uses will always remind you, you got to find yourself. You got to find yourself a rock inside you. Life on the sunbeam ain't a real dream. Sometimes you got to cry. You're getting warmer and yet you ain't there. And yes, it hurts to care. It's to them hissers and all them whispers, singing through the night. And though I ain't scared, just a bit iffy, so I'll curl up in the light. And as the sun lays down its blanket of red, your pallet on your floor becomes your big brass bed. The seasons and the reasons will all stay behind you. You've got to find yourself. You've got to find yourself a rock inside you.
I like it.
I'm working on it. I
Yeah.
gotta practice that shit.
Yeah. Sounds great. Didn't you say you had some other like parts at some point that you were kind of considering throwing in there?
Yeah, I like more chords and
Mm-hmm. Well, what were they?
like a B flat and maybe an E minor
Uh-huh.
or A minor. And
How do
then you
you
could go to the E minor too, or maybe.
can you show me what those might be? I'm just kind of
Yeah.
curious. I just think it's fun to like I don't know.
So it's just back to B minor. So B flat and A minor instead of F and G minor.
Mm-hmm. B
At least on the
flat
second part.
and A minor.
So with the F and G minor to D minor first, and then on the second one
To G minor. No. F to G minor.
to back to D minor.
Uh-huh. Back to D minor.
And then the second one would be D minor, B flat, A minor
Ooh, I like that A minor change there.
to D minor.
Yeah.
Unless you want to be like. You could do that. You could do a lot of things.
I like it. Yeah, I'm always like I try to write songs and I write some songs, but I have the hardest time like figuring out For me, like I'm always sort of trying to make them easy, and like, and I get kind of too caught up with
I mean,
like
you play a lot. You play thousands of songs, Russell. You play
I play
thousands.
play a lot of songs, but I try to like I get kind of caught up thinking about like, you know, when I play this with people, how am I going to make it easy for them to play?
Yeah,
And uh,
that's a
but
thing.
I really appreciate that about your songs, that
No.
you don't make them necessarily easy to play. Like there's like speed ups and slow downs, and like I don't know how you come up with the
Well, the speeds ups and the slows downs goes in the songs that have like three chords, but
right.
and it, but that's how I guess I try to make those a little more interesting,
Yeah.
if that's the thing. Yeah,
Is that
I
like
don't.
something that you kind of intentionally go for? Like, do you think
It started that way. It's
you
trying to
thought like
be,
this song needs something, or like this song needs
yeah,
to like I
like
want to
putting in a
surprise
break
people?
where I don't have a lot of musicality, and I still just memorize songs. I can play for 8 hours, but
Yeah, you
it's
can.
the
I've seen it.
theory is a little lacking. It just kind of like, oh yeah, these go together. But yeah, that's my own silly thing. Uh,
Yeah.
why?
Well, I mean, you need a reason for theory to matter. You know what I mean? Like for me, I learned more. Like I heard people talk about theory for all the time when I was on drums,
Yeah.
and it never sunk in because I had no reason to learn it. You know, like but then when I started picking up guitar and playing that more, and especially playing solos more, I started thinking like, okay, or melodies. You
Yeah.
know, I started thinking about like theory more, and like if I could play over the arpeggios or over the scales of the
Hmm.
chords of a song, it started to make it made it easier for me,
Yeah.
instead of more complicated. And so then there became a reason to actually learn the
Yeah.
theory. But a lot of times it just when I heard people talking about it, it just sounded like kind of like pedantic, like kind of,
Yeah.
you know, wanky.
Mm.
Like they were just like going like, well, you know, a B minor
Well,
seven
you
flat
know, and I'm
five is
not
like the
getting
sharp
that. Like,
13 of anything, you
I'm
know.
going to be minor flat plus nine, and oh, let's take it to the suspended seventh, and oh, geez, that's
Yeah,
cool. I'd like to experience that. I don't know, but yeah. And,
yeah. Well, a lot of it, you know, you can find in a dominant chord, you know,
There's
like
that.
there's a dominant chord, there's a diminished chord by adding one note, you know, or like there's a dominant chord and there's an augmented chord just by adding one note, you
Hmm.
know. So if you kind of know the the dominant chords first, like the seven chords, uh, to me it makes those diminished and augmented things make a lot more sense, and you kind of, you know, you start to hear them more if you kind of
Hmm.
take it from
Travel
there.
around better.
Yeah.
Well, I write a lot of songs, and I don't know how to play them, so I'll end up dumbing it down than from what like the song was like originally in my head, like weird notes and shit that it
Mm-hmm.
goes to. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe sometimes I like to keep them, but it's like I don't know where the fuck that goes. So it'll be like, okay, just you know, G7, A minor, D7, okay, again.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Yeah.
Well, on ukulele, I definitely had like a revelation when I started playing in like closed chords, you know, and I went from thinking of,
Gotta do
you
that.
know, that as C to that as C, and you push down all four
Mhm.
strings, and all of a sudden it's like
Been
you can
throwing
move,
that other G in for me lately.
you know, then all of a sudden you can move that around,
Yeah,
you know. So that to me like kind of opened up a lot of things. Well, so what's one of your like
that's true. And then whenever anyone picks up my ukulele, they're like, I'm like, yeah, I should probably learn how to do that. Hmm.
I
10 years
yeah,
later,
people
here I
have
am.
different strengths that they bring to the table. You have frozen.
Hi.
Hey, oh, I hear your voice,
Oh,
or maybe you just
hi. Oh,
stand
I
really
see you
still.
again.
Oh, wait, did I come back? Good. So,
Yeah,
like
I
feather in your
got you.
cap. That's a one of your songs that definitely does like has like breaks and speeds up and slows down. Did you do that intentionally,
Yeah.
trying to tell the story of the song more, or was that something where you
Yeah,
kind of
that one
like
just came in my head like that. Um, and
what was
then
that?
I guess it might have gotten weirder because I never got chords for it, so I figured them out and it'll do. I think it's fine. A lot of my songs are a lot easier than I thought they were to learn.
I had a hard time. I had a
Well,
hard
also
time for
Lucas was just amazing with and then yeah, here's it sounds different on a fretless banjo bass than it does on a fucking baritone ukulele. So,
Hmm. So
uh,
when you first started, you were playing that song with Lucas.
yeah, I didn't play it; I just sung it.
Uh-huh. Oh, really?
That was a
And so
lot.
you just came up with the words and the melody first.
I would sing him. I didn't play I only played for like Frankie D. I learned the baritone, my Lucas, and I stopped playing for a couple of years because I just got to sing and write songs and sing to that amazing musician. And he's like, "How about this?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay, that sounds
We're
great."
referring to Lucas Warford of Three for Silver fame, who now sounds like acoustic Lemmy to me.
He's really good.
Uh, what's up?
Oh, I said he's really good.
Oh yeah, he's great. Lemmy from Motorhead.
Oh no.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, to me he sounds like if Lemmy played acoustic bass, it's like what it kind of reminds me of.
Sounds
Uh,
like game.
it's like Primus and Lemmy from Motorhead mixed together uh, on a homemade, or I wouldn't say homemade, but like a specially made instrument. Three for Silver is amazing. Yeah, when I had Doug and Dee on, which didn't happen for whatever reason, but
Yeah.
they're a couple that plays music together, and they've were able to do that. Like they've been doing that successfully with one another for years,
Yeah.
and I know them well, and um, I think uh, everybody has their difficulties with and like ups and downs with trying to do that. Like playing music with a significant other is one of the most rewarding things,
Hmm.
um, kind of one of the more intimate things you can do when it really happens.
Yep. That's for sure.
Um, yeah, yeah. Uh, I played a few songs with my ex, who was like learning um, learning how to write songs, and
Yeah.
that was like when she shared a song with me that she'd never shared with anybody else. I think that was one of the more
It's an amazing experience.
yeah, like she was too nervous to play that song
Mhm.
with almost anybody, and then she played that song with me, and I just thought like, man,
Yep.
that's really nice.
Hmm.
Have you had more and less success? I mean, you and Lucas played together for quite a while, played a lot of shows, and did a fair amount of business. You know,
Hmm.
it's hard to do. I played,
Played for a year after.
and it got very weird after you said
Or no, I said we played for a whole year after
after
breakup.
you
Oh,
hadn't seen
sorry,
each other.
I don't want to get into shit on the.
Oh no,
Yeah.
we don't. No, there's nothing to get into really. Just that. No, I mean that's like to see.
Year and a
I've
half, and then a year after that.
see that's
So yeah,
amazing. Like, and you were how old? You were like in your
22 is when it started.
yeah. That is fucking amazing to be able to pull that
25,
off.
and it
Like
all I ran to the last.
have never really been able to pull that off, to be able to be with somebody, go through a breakup and then like continue playing music like that. It's just always been like too much for me. I really commend anybody who can pull that off. But personally, like when that happens for me, I always kind of I need the distance. So I kind of think that's amazing that people can do that.
Yeah.
Have you had have you played like have you had other musicians that you like really tried to like partner up with and play casual playing?
I mean, that's the dream, right? But it hasn't worked out for more than a couple of months.
Uh-huh.
And I think I never like a declared like, let's be a band. It was like, let's play some music together.
Mhm.
Yeah. And of course that happens, and that's great, like busking and stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
never been like thought it. You sit around and like think of band names and stuff, but don't that hasn't ever actually like been another band.
Have you
Like that.
written songs with people before, like had kind of really had a song that was truly like collaborative?
Um,
I mean, I know that you and Lucas collaborated, but have you ever had
yeah,
one that
definitely.
you would?
There'd be
I
I'd
mean, that
hit
was kind of
like spots in songs, and he'd fill it in with something, and it was like, whoa, I didn't even think that it could go there, but that's great. And then like goes off from there. Way long ago, wrote that song "Blame It on the Rain" with Pete, where we just traded off verses. He says he wrote it, and like that's fine, but
so
uh
you guys went like 50-50 on that one.
it was kind of like trade a line. There was like a verse, which actually Sam Dorr started, and then I had like this phrase "Blame it on the rain" stuck in my head because my
Mm-hmm.
friend had just gone through a breakup, and she's like, "Well, why don't we just blame it on the rain?" It's like, okay, and then
It's an
I don't
old
know.
Milli Vanilli song too.
I know that, yeah, yeah, like that too.
I
Um,
grew up with that song.
I
That
mean, I
song.
collaborated some with people, like made a couple duets I can't find, but made a dirty palette on your floor, but I don't really feel like repeating them.
Do you still remember "Blame It on the Rain"?
I remember the words.
Uh huh.
Mhm.
Like do
And
you?
I just don't know what key. Pete says he still plays it in G minor and that it always was, but I can never sing it. I mean, no, I don't know. There's always this filter of mine, but well, all that I ever did to win, yeah, I'm probably A, like I
Mm-hmm.
usually do.
Do you
No,
want
I
to?
never did begin, yeah. Mhm. That's good.
Do you want to try it? If do you feel like singing it just a cappella?
Sure.
I mean, there's nothing like the sound of unaccompanied human voice. That I
Cool.
mean that like I was uh, I oop, you dropped something. Utah Phillips, told me that there was nothing like this the sound of unaccompanied human voice,
Yeah.
and it's true. I mean, you can scream into a microphone all night, and if you step out in front of it and start singing just all by yourself, like the place
It's
goes
very powerful.
silent.
Well, hopefully, depends where you're at, but
Yeah.
and what you're doing, but it's true.
Do you want to do "Blame It on
Um,
the Rain" or something else?
well, all that I ever did to win ya, no, I never did begin ya. I was just following blue flags into the fall. Now I'm sitting on a park bench, singing songs don't even make sense, just waiting for that weather to be gone. And I went to find my rest, couldn't find no rest. I took a stroll out west. Now I'm just sitting in a lazy hurricane. I guess I'll just go blame it on the rain. Well, I guess I'll just go blame it on the rain. Now I'm sitting neath that willow tree, just singing, woe is me. Well, hoping that this storm will soon pass. Sometimes that love don't last, it roll by all too fast. Now I'm just pining for the past. And if that sun don't come and you ain't my one, well, I guess I might just find another. Oh, sometimes it just ain't worth the pain. I guess I'll just go blame it on the rain. And I guess I'll just go blame it on the rain. And then I got an extra verse after the now I'm traveling down that lonesome road, ain't gonna do what I'm told. Well, shoulders hurt from such a heavy load. Storm clouds gathering, oh my head gonna follow me till I'm dead. And I wear right through these shoes, but I got soul. Bright pastures on the horizon, and the sun will keep on rising, whether or not I'm making shadows. Oh, trying to shake you is driving me insane. I guess I'll just go blame it on the rain. Well, I guess I'll just go blame it on the rain. From now on, I'm gonna blame it on the rain.
Yay! That makes me happy.
You
I
know,
love the making shadows thing. Did you make that up?
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Bonus line.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
That's great.
Warm up a little bit more. Maybe that'll got me a little warmed up.
You know, my one of my absolute favorites that you cooked up was a whiskey love song. What's the
Yeah.
story on that one?
I was on a plane going home from New Orleans and obsessed with Tom Waits and all that stuff. And trying to be, I was just started singing and, scribbling things in my notebook more, trying to be all poetic and shit. And it just came out all in sometimes like they do. But I was on the plane, so I couldn't sing it really, so trying to do it. And then the guy next to me actually asked what I was doing. And then so I did sing it to him and he's like, yeah, it's a good one. So I don't know.
Oh, wait.
But I gotta say it changed oh,
Oh yeah. I'll be right back.
okay. Well, I'll sing a song or something. I don't know.
Aha, there you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was the what was the bass line? What was the bass line on that one?
Oh, that's why you came right back. Oh, that's funny. Oh, yeah, plug my computer in.
Was that the
Go
one?
back, all clad in black. I gotta change gypsies to something else because they're literally still being persecuted. So, how about nomads? uh, all
Right
clad
on.
in black. Can't really. Yeah, gotta change that one. Huh? Not funny, but true. Charger, wrong charger. I have one.
If you don't mind me asking, where are gypsies currently being?
Italy is the last one I heard.
Uh-huh. I personally stopped using the term just because it's a
Yeah.
shortening of the word Egyptian, right? Like it's like a
Shit. That makes sense. I didn't know that one. But
I think that's what it is it the it's kind of there's a lot of ignorance all wrapped up
yeah.
in that
Right.
phrase.
There we go. I'm ignorant of that.
Oh
And
well,
I'm
no, not
more
you, but I'm just
no, I
saying
should
that
look this shit up.
the calling it of taking adding y to the end of
Yeah.
anybody's
Probably shouldn't even say I mean, you can say, yeah.
yeah.
Uh if you're talking about the people in particular, Roma, but if I don't really think, yeah, even
Yeah.
feel weird.
No, it was
Even I guess that's why I don't sing that song really much anymore because
really.
first fucking line, yeah. So
That's funny. The very first word.
yeah, appropriate. Yeah, first word.
Yeah. No, the
This could be
tune.
like
The
anything
term
else.
was definitely thrown around a bunch there for a while, where people would just gypsy this and gypsy that, and
Yep.
you never cared for it because yeah,
I said I like gypsy jazz for a lot of
yeah. Wow, you turned into a
my own.
you got weird on me there for a minute. But yeah, I personally stopped using it because it just was weird to attach uh, an ethnicity to a style of music, and then especially if it's a strange
Sorry, our
take on.
internet goes out a lot. I don't know if it's you or me, but I can make a hot spot so it doesn't happen again.
Okay, cool.
I'm
Well,
back in the garage.
yeah, it looks better. Looks better already. But yeah, I was just saying that it's kind of weird to attach an ethnicity to a style of music anyway for me because to me it's more about um, individuals, and they're like I tend to not really like genres so much as I like individuals in a style of music.
Sorry, it reconnected. It
Okay,
reconnected.
I'm just talking to
Freaking
myself now.
should be.
I'm just
No,
li-
I heard you there.
just like to hear myself talk a lot usually.
Well,
But
you have a nice voice,
how
but as
about
we were saying,
how about gutter punks all dressed in black?
sure, yeah, but
Or what
just
else?
I would say punk kids.
Sure. So here I'll warm you up.
That
By the way, this is the bass that this
I
was
just,
originally played in.
I'm just gonna say, my friend. I noticed that. Does it work to sing to this? Let's see. My friends are all clad in black. The only color in their robe is a beaten up patch. Still, if whiskey's my savior, I'll always share with my neighbors. And I won't judge a word unless you're dealing out flack. Still, my midnight coffee is low in my cup. Well, I just got Evan to fill it back up. Well, I'd rather go to bed with Jack. But Evan finds his own way to my brown paper sack. Mr. Williams is a fine man, Mr. Daniel's a gentleman, but you know it ain't no secret for no one to hide. They both got some trouble getting up and bona fide. Well, I love a good growl, and my blood pumps with brass. If you wanted to dance, why didn't you just
Just
ask?
ask.
I'm gonna learn some swing, but I need to find someone to flip me around on the floor whilst I dance. Jack and Evan can sure spin me, but not the kind of spin that wins me, as opposed to a good part who keeps me shaking my ass. I'm afraid there's too many in my life. My heart never can shake. But I'm wondering how much romance my liver can take. I messed that one part up. Well, it's
Which
fine.
part?
The very end.
Uh huh. Oh, really?
That's fine. Look at me being nitpicky.
I think that song's brilliant. Did you decide you wanted to do like a whiskey or comparison kind of song, or were you gonna do like more whiskeys on at one point, or was it always kind
No,
of
I
those
just
two?
started out. Yeah, well, yeah, I think I pretty much was sticking to the Jack and the Evan at the time. Mostly Evan, Jack when I could.
Mm-hmm. Right,
So
right.
I suppose that was that. There's a lot more if you wanted to get into it.
A lot more verses.
I don't know. I didn't write any more verses, but there could be
There's
um,
a lot more of what were you thinking?
potential
Potential,
now.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, if you just go into the Dickel or the Bush Mills or
Right, that could go for
Wild Turkey
days.
shit.
Yeah. What are you drinking nowadays?
Well, there's the Bullet, which is
Mm-hmm.
still, bought out. Knob Creek is good. I think they're all bought out now.
Bought out
But
by.
that's that Bullet. Kentucky Rye, baby.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'd love to hear you
mhm.
expand on that song. I've always thought that was
We need
amazing.
more, or is it just good at like a minute and a half?
Well, you could. I mean, you could stretch that song out with all sorts of little solos and stuff in between. And you sang it kind of fast there a second ago, which
Yeah.
I don't blame you because you're unaccompanied. But
It's been a while and acapella and yeah, all that.
yeah, I get that song stuck in
And
my head like
no
on a weekly
recorder.
basis.
Oh, cool.
What's
Well,
the
you
other
should try
sort of Waitzian number that you have? That was
it.
dun, dun, ba-da-da-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum,
Oh, we're going
bam, boom.
actual Go Shakens. Yeah, I guess
Jobo Shakin. So that's how we know each other, right? It's the whole
yeah.
Shakins thing. Jobo
Mm-hmm.
Shakins. I
Yep.
remember you came up. I was with I was with Lauren, and we were at
Oh, well,
the
Jenkins. Jobo Shankins? Did you say Bilbo Jenkins? Did you? Yeah.
Talk
Hobo
about
Jenkins was my
talk about names that are hard to
uh
remember. Yeah, that was a
yeah,
toughie. Was
I
that your
know,
nickname?
sorry. It was my nickname. It wasn't my idea to have it as the band name, but I think you guys were like, yeah, yeah, you should do that. Yeah. And I think our other one was Portland Aeronautical Society, but that kind of really gave another impression, which is cool. But I think I was afraid that we would give a false advertisement and a whole bunch of people would come down being like, yeah, fucking aeronauts meeting, cool, which is the point. But still.
Yeah.
Also, another one that might be hard to the Portland Aeronautical Society. That's long.
It's a
Joe Bush
little
Higgins is ridiculous, but fine.
sounds a little dry. The
Thought of
Portland.
the next band name might be named like Caterwallops or something.
I love the
Have the always
logo. I love the logo you guys came up with, that skull
oh yeah.
with the balloon attached to it.
It's actually funny. I was going through shit and I was going through all my boxes recently and I have a patch to give to Annie because she still listens to it, which
I
is
love
funny.
it.
But
Wait, hold it up for just a second longer. Hold that up for just a
oh,
second.
Michelle Lozier did this one.
Neat.
Yep.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
you
funny.
guys. Yeah, I was kind of all over the CD too. I don't have a copy of that on me.
I don't have one anymore either. So.
No, I got
My
one
parents
somewhere.
still have one or two. Oh, but they're the last ones I know of.
Yeah, I got one, I got a couple
I
around
have
me
one on
somewhere.
the computer, but you know.
Mm-hmm. Right on. So what was the other one that was on there? That was what was the kind of story
Oh,
Waitzian style one?
was it the dead things?
No, it was
Taxidermied mermaids and alligator tails with newts with 8 eyes and all their feet made of snails. That one.
no, it was after that. It was like later on. It was the one where um, it got kind of more intense and it built up and oh shoot, what
Old
was the
Dirty
name?
Daniel?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, Old Dirty Daniel. Yeah. Do you
Oh, we
still
would
do?
segue into that after Whiskey Love Song to make it longer. The bass line changed a little bit. Dum dum ba da dum dum ba da
Mm-hmm.
dum dum ba da dum dum dum. Mhm.
Do you still remember that one?
I remember words.
Old Dirty
Yeah,
Daniel.
and melodies. Oh, dirty Daniel, don't let his soul. These are all drilled into my mind forever. Set to rest after flying out the window last night. You see, he started a mad fight. Hell, it was a broad atop 'em all. But who knew if that old drunken fool actually had the foresight, or it was just a punch drunk luck coming in blind from the right? It goes on.
Yeah,
For
keep going.
that night was the night that set many a fool right. Throw your fists if you gotta. Hell, we all love that funny trouble. But 'tain't no good to throw a match to a sack of powder you didn't mean to light. He'll go down in this town as a brazen mad hound. And all the little chilluns'll be afeared of his spirit. But there is a lesson to his rhyme if you didn't already hear it. If you fell past rock bottom and your fists are itching for a fight, just make sure it ain't in Texas in the middle of the night. And then, and then I went to Smoking Leftover Hits on My Pipe,
That,
which
I
was the
mean,
first rap song I ever wrote, and we just did it slow.
so real quick, going back to Old Dirty Daniel, what's that referring to? What's that about? What's the brawl?
Or I was trying to be more obscure in my songwriting and like tell a story besides sing about love or my own personal experiences.
Which
I tend to get wrapped up in cheese
which I
balls.
really
So I was
appreciate
trying to
actually. I was trying I've always
oh cool.
appreciated moving outside the sort of the love song format.
I don't do it often, but I like it when I do.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, what was that referring to a specific experience, or like did you really see a brawl, or like where did you come up with it?
I think I was thinking I wanted to be like Tom Waits and trying to write a.
All right, we lost Josie there for just a second. I'm sure she'll be back. I love getting to be able to talk to people like this. It's something, believe it or not, something I've never really gotten a chance to do uh, with Josie and with some of my friends because we're always distracted. There's always something else going on, and uh, and it's kind of weird just sitting down for an hour and asking your friends questions about how they operate. Um, and something that Josie and I haven't really had a chance to do before. So it's kind of neat. I've been wanting to figure out where she comes up with this stuff because uh, Josie's been writing really amazing songs since I met her um, many years ago. And yeah, I wonder how some people can kind of keep that well stream going. So this is actually the banjo bass that was on the original uh, Jobo Shaken's recording, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It kind of sounds like a banjo and a bass mixed together. It sounds pretty cool. You can do all sorts of funky stuff with it. Aha! Are you back, Josie? Josie's back.
Oh,
Aha! Oh yeah, where'd you go?
I don't know what happened. I don't know.
Well, don't do that.
I don't know. It's on. I put on a hotspot. Mm-hmm.
Cool. So
I mean, it didn't turn off. I don't know what happened.
so it was a writing that song "Old Dirty," and it was kind of an intentional move to
Step out of. Yes.
yeah,
Do something different
that's cool.
and tell a creepy story.
Do you ever give yourself do you ever sit down and just say like, okay, I've got 2 hours. I'm gonna write a song and it's gonna be like this, or how do you operate like in a certain way, or do you kind of have different ways that you work?
There's definitely different ways. I did a whole podcast on the Bear in the Woods studio or Studio in the Realm thing about songwriting. But it depends. There's a lot of different ways. I get songs stuck or melodies or lines will get stuck in my head. And sometimes it'll just be there till I finally am like, okay, continue. Sometimes I'll have an idea and it'll just fly out of my face and that's fun. And then I just try to remember and write it down as soon as I can and try to remember what the fuck just happened. Those are usually the best, honestly.
Well, it's kind of just it just kind of the whole thing comes out full.
Yeah. I think Sailing to the Moon just literally just was like a fucking music vomit in a wonderful way. Like one afternoon, I was thinking of the Little Bighorns in New Orleans. I think I was back in Portland and missing it and I want to sing, I want to sing, I want to sing. And it just I was walking in my kitchen. I stopped and had to put my hands on the island in the kitchen and be like, yeah, this is good. Keep going. Okay, remember we just said, yeah, this is good. Keep going. And I luckily had something and I scrawled a couple words of the end of the verses so I could remember. But it was don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. And yeah, that's how that one happened.
So it came out as fast as you could write.
Pretty much, yeah, that one did.
Wow.
The Tree song, which I think is at the moment my favorite song that I've ever written, is that one took years of having that the first line stuck in my head. um, which happened when I was driving, and then it just kept getting stuck in my head. But I only had that for a long time, and then driving other times or late at night, I've come up with a lot of other verses that I don't remember. But then finally one day, I was playing at the studio of the Woodland Realm where we did our recording that we have to finish. And then I was playing there, and it was really close to Earth Day, and I also got asked to play an Earth Day show, and I was playing with Ian Leonard at the studio of the Woodland Realm, and I was like, well, shit, for like a Bear in the Woods, original songwriter thing. And so it was like, well, I want to finish this song, and I think that when I put chords to it at like 12 o'clock or something, and was singing it by 1:30.
Wow.
Or like, out on the porch being like, shit, this is a thing. I mean, the chords aren't that tricky, but I like, spat out more words, and it took a while. I've tweaked that one, and I still kind of want to tweak a couple of them, but sometimes you just gotta let it be a thing.
Mm-hmm. Gotta let it simmer. Do you
Yeah.
do you want to do either one of those tree song or sail into the moon?
Sailing to the Moon, I Need You. See, these are the ones that were like I hadn't done them in a while. I mean, I can still sing that one, but that'd be a cappella.
Do you want to
again.
do you feel like doing tree song with your uke?
Sure. That sounds good. I did tune. I could check this, Bob. Calling everything Bob lately. And I just talked to my friend Bob. Yeah. Oh, come on, no, you could do it. You could do it. Yeah. It was in tune. It was in tune when I picked it up, and of course now that I actually don't play it. Tune when I picked it up after not playing it for like a week, and then.
Oh, I was going to ask you, do you have like certain drugs for certain functions of songwriting? Like I heard a comedian a while ago that was saying that that like, drugs expanded his mind, but then
Well, I can play for
cigarettes
16
gave him
hours
the.
on acid.
You said you can play for 50 hours on acid?
No, I said 16.
Yeah, twice
8
as long.
hours has happened a few times. I think like 16 hours happened like once.
Because everything
Maybe
is
12 hours is.
slowed down.
No, it was figuring I was able to come up with more words, make up just shit, a lot of making up stuff, and then also just being like, how about this song? How about this song? And then, just putting 1-4-5 shit to it, and then, or, whatever seems correct. I could figure out more songs on acid than I can normally play. And also I think I sing better. I don't know. But I don't
But then
take
to
that
write
to
a
do songwriting. It's not like an intentional thing. Like I'm gonna take acid and write a song. But I do think we should do a studio session sometime.
we should try. Yeah, yeah. The guy was saying that it was Stanhope. He was talking about he smokes cigarettes to write the stuff down, and then he needs
Oh,
booze to get out in front of you judgmental fucks and
yeah,
and do this yeah, to actually
this
do the
is
stuff.
tequila.
Yeah, it can help. But anyway, yeah. So that's interesting. Yeah, we should totally. I would love to try that again. Who knows? I mean, I went from like, yeah, there was a long period of time there where it was like putting my ear up against a cymbal and just like tapping it with my finger and going like, oh yeah, it's like wine,
Oh
And then
yeah,
I
well you
finally
can do
kind of
that.
moved into actually being able to do
The
songs.
productivity level does not always stay the same. You can sit there for 10 hours, but will you write more than 2 measures? That's a good question. You can repeat them all the dude all day.
All
But
right. All right. Well, believe it or not, we just did an hour. So do you want to do the tree song and
sure.
then call it a night?
Is this really going on the internet? Because I just like to.
It might. I don't know. It's up to you. We it's
All right.
50-50 vote. So
There you go.
if I throw in and you don't want to do it, then it's we don't
Okay.
have to. But
Let's see.
yeah.
All right, tree song. I wish you could ooh along with me, bud. Be like, ooh.
I'll try it.
I don't know. It's timing.
It'll
It's
be like
fine.
it'll be kind of
We
cool.
can
It'll
do
be
like
like a
a
melody.
round. We can do like, yeah. Nope, can't start again.
Start the whole thing over.
Where is it? I found it, I think. I don't know. Cameras make me nervous.
Me too.
Fuck it. I wanna wallow in the willow grove, holler all about my love. I've been cavorting with the bees, I've made cohorts with the trees. Well, I'm a young birch tree. The ravens and mosquitoes call me, and I will bloom with the fireweed. Well, I'm a young birch tree. I wanna become part of the forest, lay all of my woes to rest. Well, I've been waiting for so long for just a little ray of sun. I'm a cedar sapling, and I will grow in the spring. And when the wind blows, I will softly sing. I'm a cedar sapling. I wanna live right next to the river. You need some heat, I will be there. Weave me so I'll cover you, at least keep you from turning blue. I'm an alder tree. You may see plenty of me, but I'll be there through everything. I'm an alder tree. I wanna roll across the grassy knoll, if you're down to take a stroll. I've been out dancing with the mice, and the weasels treat me nice. Well, I'm a willow sprig. You may think that I'm just a twig, but drop me in the mud, I will grow to be big. I'm a willow sprig. I wanna hop upon the mountaintop. You might think that I am lost. I've been out soaring with the hawks. I live my life outside the box, but I'm a scraggly old pine. I've done this a zillion times, and through all the years I will be just fine. I'm a scraggly old pine. I messed up. It's okay. Here we go. I wanna hit to the heart of the meadow. I'm just trying to give it a go, twist and turn and stand my ground. Biggest thing that is around while I'm a struggling oak stand. I've been cut down by a man. I'm asking you please to lend a hand while I'm a struggling oak stand. I wanna wallow in a willow grove, holler all about my love. I've been cavorting with the bees, I've made coverts with the trees while I'm a young bird's tree. The ravens and mosquitoes call me, and I will bloom with the fire. Well, I'm a young bird's tree. I'm a scraggly old pine. I'm a willow sprig. I am a cedar sapling.
Oh, nice. That's
Thank
great.
you.
Josie, you made me feel great. It's really good
Aw,
to
you
see
made
you.
me feel great. You're
Yeah,
great.
it's really nice to. I miss you. It's nice to see you.
I miss you. No.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Virtual hug. Good socially distant elbow.
Whoa, it just like the computer can't even handle that. It's just
Yeah.
well,
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Like that they just said that if you're asymptomatic, then you might not even be carrying the virus. Like that it might not even be transferable. Now they're saying that it's been like that changes everything. It's been like the last like 3 months inside.
changes all the time. And just the best thing is to stay educated and be careful.
Yeah, but
I gave a friend a hug today who has only had one in the last 2 months, and it was needed.
yeah,
That's a thing. So
I know. Yeah,
it's okay
sometimes
with
yeah,
me.
it
That
comes and goes. Like you get thinking about it and you get way into it, and then other times it's like I'm a human being. God damn it!
yeah,
need to
well,
see people.
all within respect and careful levels of
Affection.
push it responsibly.
Yeah.
And I've got, there's a few people that I live with, some work with, another one, and there's one other person. So there's basically, yeah, a crew of, I think there's like 6 to 7 people I see on a regular basis. Well, ish,
Yeah.
living with, and
Well,
then
Josie, thank you so much
that's very,
for doing this. This was super fun,
yeah.
and I'm glad that we
I just talked to you like,
finally got to do this. I've been wanting to do something like this ever since Ralph Carney passed away.
mhm,
I really wanted
yeah.
to do an interview with him, and then he passed away, and I thought, man, that was such a bummer that I wasn't able to you know talk to that guy. It also like it's really cool the way it kind of changes the dynamic. Like you and I have never really had the chance to like sit down and have me like pick your brain. I've always wanted to ask you some of these questions like about how you write and where you come up with stuff.
Well,
And
I'll tell
so,
you anytime, bud. we should,
what was that?
we just want to play music when we're together instead of talk about how we do it.
I know. Yeah, I want to steal your ideas. I want to.
Would you like some of this can of worms?
Yeah, pull
Have a
that
sip,
computer
bud.
chip out and put it in my brain.
Ah.
Let's see how you do that. All right.
But yeah,
Well,
you can have some of this. Want some words? I got so many words. So
right
many
on. Well,
words.
we'll
I
have
love
to
you.
do it again sometime. And next time that
Okay.
you're in town, don't be a stranger.
I won't. You're like, yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
Josie Wales, everybody. Who's are you, what's your do you have a band up in Bellingham that you're playing with? So Josie Wales and the Jazz Hams. We'll be back again.
I think we gotta cut it to Josie and the Jazz Hams. That's too much. I thought just the Jazz Hams. So it's too much. Again, why? Why?
Josie and the
Why?
Jazz Hams?
Yeah, sure.
That's what it is now? I'm in.
Yeah.
Josie and the Jazz Hams. Josie Wales, everybody. All right.
You could
Thanks
be
so
a jazz
much.
man too. Love you, Russell.
Bye. Love you too.